This is where the fun begins.
Hello there. How's it going?
Hey everyone, Hybrid Toy Reviews here, and today we are taking a look at the Star Wars The Black Series Shriek Mandalorian from The Mandalorian. And you know what? After the last several ones that have been blue, hopefully there's nothing on this that'll make me unreasonably angry for no reason. Here's the Shriek Mandalorian in its packaging, so as always we're going to go ahead and start here. It came a little beat up from Target, it wasn't just that intro skit, but that's alright because I opened my toys. You have your Star Wars Black Series logo up above a big window showing him and his accessories off nicely. Number 40 in the line, Mandalorian Shriek, Star Wars Mandalorian in orange with an orange backdrop. Warning, 4+ Hasbro. This side of the box features some cool art of him just standing there holding his pistol. He has his name down here at the bottom. Wraparound window, wraparound orange stripe, Black Series logo. Around back, again, a Black Series logo, a zoom into that side art, a bio about him in varying languages. Pause and read which best applies to you. He's number 40 in the line. A bunch of legal stuff, Disney, Hasbro, barcode, more legal stuff down below. Hanger tab up top. Basically, nothing special here, just your standard packaging. Let's open them up and see what we're getting here. Well, now that I've taken some horse tranquilizers and I'm a lot more calm about the blue armor pieces on this Mando, let's go ahead and jump into this review. So, he comes with multiple accessories, which is really nice to see. The last few of these just came with a little pistol, and so I am just liking seeing a little spread in front of him. That's nice. So, for starters, he does come with his jetpack. This is very standard. It is a nice blue plastic with some kind of flat gray plastic for the thrusters, and on the tops of like I'm going to call these engines, why not? It's got a little bit of gunmetal gray going on for the rocket up top, which does unplug like all the other ones on this mold. Flipping around back, it is the peg with the two rectangular tabs there, and it has 3 receptacles in its back, so you poured it on like so. Once you get it notched in all 3 places, it is nice and very secure. Features holes in the bottom to accept the thrusters from the Return of the Jedi Boba Fett that we've never seen duplicated in the line ever. So Hasbro only wants you to have one character flying on your shelf at a time. God forbid you want to recreate the Season 3 finale or anything. Looking at his weapons, he comes with this one, which is like the Bosk, like Shelby, I think it is. I'm vaguely remembering that from Battlefront. It's in a glossy black plastic this time, and then it has some gold accents going on here. So it's very pimp my blaster, if you will. But I do like the look of it. It looks oh so good, and it's just a really unique variation of this blaster. We've gotten it in black and gray, and so, now we're kind of getting it really cool looking. The new weapon this go around is his pistol. So they've decided that not every Mando needs to have the exact same pistol. This one, while it's a aesthetically similar pistol, is a complete and totally different sculpt. Actually, I think this might even be the pistol from the Armored Commando. Let's bring him in here. So I've been on a reviewing streak. Nope, it's not. There's a couple of design aesthetics that are similar to it, but it is not that pistol. So there we go, live on camera trying to discover things. But it is painted a very nice silver, and it's got some dark gray like grips in the side panels. Looks oh so good, and he does feature a working hip holster for it. No strap, it just pegs in like so. And now, looking at the Shriek Mando, despite there being some blue here, I will say I really like overall what we're getting. Like so many of our other background Mandos, there's a lot of reuse going on here, but I'm really happy to report that those other ones must have sold well enough that they felt comfortable sculpting some new pieces. Generally, they were trying to squeak and squeeze and get everything they could, every drop of money out of every sculpt before, but they finally added some newness here, and I do really like it. So a lot of this is your very familiar Death Watch Mando from a few years back with some of the pieces that they then added for X-Woves and the Fleet Commander. And so, but I am talking mostly about the Kama. He is wearing, it looks like the bottom half of a duster. It's just very raggedy, and it just looks oh so cool, and it fits him very well. I do love that we are getting a little bit of a variety. Only maybe 50% of his armor pieces are blue, which means I'm only 50% enraged about it for reasons that I'm not going to share because there are no reasons. But I do like the greens and the tans and the browns it looks very much like a collage, a collaboration. I kind of remember, and I didn't read a lot of EU stuff back in the day, but there was some, and there were nuggets that stood out to me. And I kind of remember there being something with Mandalorians like swapping armor pieces to like armor their friends and family and stuff, or like to honor their friends and family. And I don't know if that's like a thing in new Mandalorian lore. If like someday we might see Ragnar, get a piece of Paz's armor, just to add to his kit. Like, so maybe this random guy has just scavenged these pieces, or maybe there's a more noble backstory to it. And as noble as the Mandalorians seem to be, I would like to think it would be a noble backstory kind of idea. But also desperate times. But he looks oh so cool. Just spinning him around. He has, that one symbol on his shoulder there looking oh so good. And otherwise, there's not really a lot of special painted symbols. He's got the one stripe going across the top of his head. We've got a couple of them that have had rings around, so it is cool just to see, that type of design for once. The comma is very, very nice, but it is very heavy. It's very thick. It doesn't super hinder the articulation, but it's definitely not getting out of the way much either, especially the way that they've connected it to this like cod flap there. I think if they would have put a cut in between them, that may have helped the articulation, especially like on that leg in particular. It does kind of get traffic coned up in there. That might be a mod that I decide to do off screen. But yeah, it's sculpted very well, and I love the tattering along the bottom where it's just been dragging on the ground and catching as he's been jetting around, because the Shriek Hawks are very jetpack using, and it just looks oh so cool. I love the gauntlet on this one, how it just has this big, heavy, piece of silver-colored equipment there. Maybe it's like a cable. It might be a cable. And then, so he's forgone the whistling birds, and this one's just kind of a generic, Mando gauntlet. But just everything that you could want in a random background Mando, you are getting here. So to run through articulation, it's stuff we've seen a bunch of times before. There is articulation on the rangefinder. I don't think I ever really remember to show that, but it does go down. And then the head can look that far up, which is nice for flying, that far down. Of course, you get side to side, and a ton of pivot allows you to get some good attitude on this guy. His arms come up to a T-pose, where there is a lot of range in the shoulders, 360 degrees at the shoulders, of course, with single-jointed elbows that go a little past 90, swivel at the elbow, swivel at the forearm armor, 360 at the wrist with the left hinging in and out, and the right hinging up and down. Mid-torso ball joint allows you to crunch that far forward, that far back, get some side to side, and a little bit of pivot. His legs can only really go that far apart once you factor in the comma, which is a little bit of a letdown, but again, I'm going to keep calling it a comma. Is it still a comma if it's ankle length? I know Commander Bly in the comments, after he says first, might be able to answer that. His legs can kick straight forward as long as it's over here. It's about there before it starts frictioning out, which sucks. There is an upper thigh swivel. Single jointed knees can go to 90 and swivel. There is no boot cut on this guy, but it doesn't really need it because he swivels at the knee. The feet can point straight down, really far forward, and there's a forward-facing pin for rocker, allowing you to get this guy in some pretty decently wide stances with both feet flat on the ground. And now, you don't know what you're in for. Because to the right, you see just the hint of a shadow over there is a lot of Mandalorians. So I got to bring in Mando Prime, being Din Djarin, Bo-Katan, Paz Vizsla. Here we have Axe Woes, Casca Reeves, starting to lose the names. Here's the Night Owl, and what was the other one? Here's the Fleet Commander, and Death Watch Mando. But yeah, I mean, other than Din, we're starting to see a lot of blue in the line. There's a lot of blue going on. But yeah, ultimately, I do like that we have started to really build up a nice group of Mandalorians. And it's just a really cool display when you get them all together. But yeah, I just had to bring everyone together for this family photo, if you will. But all in all, I am really liking how he looks. I will say off camera, I did add that little slit there, and it did allow me to bring that thigh up a lot further. But to conclude, what do I think of the Shriek Mando? I think he's a really cool figure. Now, look, a lot of people have made their bet on if they're buying background Mandos or not at this point, and those are the ones that you hear make up nonsense arguments about, but it's blue, and that's my reason. Well, it was blue on screen, dude, so, like, what do you want? And really what they're trying to say is that they don't want to buy random background characters, which is what it is. And while I don't really believe in doing that for like the OT and the Cantina and stuff, just because those are boring, these are really cool warrior characters, and I'm okay with squatting them up a little bit. And I'm excited to get the 2-pack of Shriek Mandos that's coming from Walmart. Like, it's going to be a really good time getting a trio of these guys, that kind of have, like, the heavier mixed plating, and then you got your blue team, and hopefully we see some more. I mean, like, honestly, there's, like, 6 or 7 more that I can think of off the top of my head that I'd really like to get. I really want the Judge. I really want, like, the 3 that they met on Mandalore when they were first beginning their reclaiming of the planet. There's just a couple of other ones that have kind of been in the background of a few episodes, where I just think it'd be cool. I mean, it'd be cool if they did like the 3 that were in the background of season 1 that Lego put in that Mandalorian battle pack back in 2019. Like, there's a lot that they can do, and I hope that they do. And every time that we get one of these, I buy them day one. I want to support it. However, I will say, and this is really just going to apply to those of you who are here today, right now, right as the video is dropping. But last week when I bought this, they were running a special. They were competing with Prime Day. It was like $17, even though it's supposed to be like $27. And so I couldn't beat that. And this week, it's like $19. They still have it on sale. Now, this video is probably going up on Wednesday or Friday, and I believe that Sunday will be the cutoff on that. So not to tell you to run to Target right now, but for $20 instead of like the $27, I mean, if you're on the fence about it, not to tell you to rush. So, of course, that's just dated this video. Now when you're watching it in 3 weeks, it might not be on sale anymore, and I apologize. But, I mean, on day one, there's been sales on this guy. So I haven't had any gripes about that. I'm really happy to get it for retail or below. And I wouldn't have waited for it to be on discount. I would have bought it for retail if it was out for retail on day one anyway. But ultimately, I'm just really happy with this. He looks really cool, and I think he'll look really cool on your shelf. That's it for now. Thanks a bunch for watching. It means a lot that you did. If you enjoyed, just leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that end of video stuff. I will catch you next time. Until then, may the Force be with each and every one of you, and goodbye.